stream, bro, but I'm on your shit now. That's a good one. Thanks for reminding me of this shit. Hey, man, this is about to piss all the Game of Thrones fans off. You guys know I've been very critical of GRRM, George R.R. Martin. I think he's a crook, a swindler. I think that he's an old man who's just waiting to spend his bucks, get, paraded by bad bitches and go have fun and have lots of sex and stuff like that and not write those books. George R.R. Martin has come out and has said some crazy things. Let's start with this Westerosi's tweet. George R.R. Martin addresses the criticism he has faced in the untrue perception of how he spends his time and the outrage regarding the Winds of Winter in a new blog post. The Winds of Winter was supposed to be written probably 10 years ago at this point. Here's what he said. Some of you will just be pissed off by this, as you are by everything I announce here that is not about Westeros or the Winds of Winter. You have given up on me, or on the book. I will never finish Winds. If I do, I will never finish A Dream of Spring. If I do, it won't be any good. I ought to get some other writer to pitch hit for me. I'm going to die soon anyway because I'm so old. I lost all interest in the Song of Ice and Fire decades ago. I don't give a shit about writing any longer. I just sit and spend my money. I edit the wild card books too. But you hate the wild cards. You may hate everything else I have ever written. The Hugo Winners and the Hugo Losers, A Song for Lila and The Dying of the Light, Sand Kings and Beauty and the Beast, This Tower of Ashes, and The Stone City. Old Mars and Old Venus and Rogues and Warriors and Dangerous Women and all the other anthologies I edited with my friend Gardner Dozoy. You don't care about any of those, I know. You don't care about anything but Winds of Winter. You've told me so often enough. Thing is, I do care about them. And I care about Westeros and Winds as well. The Starks and the Lannisters and Targaryens, Tyrion and Asha, Dany and Daenerys, the dragons and direwolves. I care about them all. More than you could ever imagine. George Martin. You motherfreaker, you. He's keeping it a buck and he sees and understands everything.
I don't give a damn. This is my paycheck. That was funny.
What the freak was that?
Bro, you sat back and just recapped everything that everyone has ever said about you, validated it, and still said nothing. You say, yeah, I'm too old, can't do it. He knows. I thought he didn't know. I thought that this was just an old man living his old life, getting some hoes and shit and gambling, going to cons, taking pictures, nasty and shit, just being fat and old. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that he was in tune with all of the debate, hate, vitriol, sadness, anxiety, anticipation, and rage that his fan base has for him. But all of this time, you've known. And then you know that we're going to be pissed off by what you said. You even said it. You're going to be pissed off by this. Yes, we're pissed. We're pissed because it took you so... Because you wrote these 5 books, and you the 6th one, which is Game of Thrones, hasn't even finished. D&D had to do season 6, 7, and 8 because they no longer had a book to go off of. So they winging it and destroyed the show. Now the show is so bad, and people know that it's like in our memories in the back. By the time you do finish your 6th book, I don't really necessarily know if it will fix anything or live up to the praise. I think that D&D thinks or knows that they got your ending right. You all along decided to make Dany go dark and go Mad Witch and all that. And I wasn't against that either, so long as they organically got up to that point. But the fact that you would put all of these nods in Dany's character just to make her suicide down a cliff, that's kind of a problem to me. And I think that you know that D&D got your ending generally right, and you can't write the book that we already know sucks based off of what D&D did with the show. I don't think that you're man enough or have the balls enough to release that book that I think is done, by the way. I think those manuscripts are finished. But as soon as you saw the backlash that D&D got, they're not, by the way, they're no longer working in Hollywood. They just sitting in an island somewhere spending their money because of what they had to do. They went to you to get the idea of the ending. And I know you probably told them, well, this is how it ends. You got to get there in 8 episodes. Fuck. It was almost an impossible task. And you're pretending, you're baiting, and you're waiting. I think you are probably waiting to die. Because you know everything. You know everything that we're upset with. You know everything that we're going to say in response to you saying this. You're like a fortune teller out here. You could definitely still write some stuff. You wrote this, and this was very livid in my imagination. It's very lifelike and realistic and believable in Bible. It's all that. So how can a man who is seemingly as smart as you not release the book that I think you freaking finished? I believe you did finish it. I believe you had that book finished for some years now, and you don't have the balls to release it because you know people will give you a whole wave of new hate, strong hate, sharp hate. And I think that you releasing the book that shows that same type of ending, I believe it will validate and vindicate D&D to where that will create a snowball against you. D&D will come out, see, I told you. He told us this was the ending. We just did what he said.
He lied on us.
And y'all hating on us. Y'all threw us under the bus. We only did what the master said. And then all the hate's going to come to you. You're going to be the fraud. But then again, I understand how fandoms work. You're tired of people nagging, whining, and complaining. It's really hard to differentiate the toxic fans from the fans who truly care about you, the writer. The problem is you may have 20 million fans out there, but it's for show. You probably have maybe 5,000 people across this world who love your world, but they also care about you. It's a very small population, but to have 5,000 people that love you, that's immense. I wish I had that. And it's those people that really want what's best for you, and those are the people that really deserve to get that book made. They really deserve some type of closure, but you're not giving it to them. And what is happening with this George R.R. Martin, has already happened to another George in the past. George Lucas had the biggest fandom, bigger than freaking Game of Thrones. George was ridiculed, mocked, and talked about over freaking news, word of mouth, newspapers. They hated the prequels. They gave George a headache. And George said, for sure, freak all you mother freakers. I'm selling all this shit to Disney. Deal with them now. And what did Star Wars turn into? Star Wars turned into what it is today. Trash. And then all the years later, some of you idiots, schmoes, collider motherfuckers, want to go back and say, man, the prequel's pretty good after all, you know what I mean? Where was y'all? Y'all were the ones that were giving George hell for it. The fans kept mocking him. Jar Jar Binks was going to be a Sith Lord, bro. And he was really setting that up to be something dope. But y'all, Jar Jar's trash. And a lot of y'all were racist, bro. A lot of Star Wars fans are racist as shit. Y'all were mad Mace Windu had a purple saber. Y'all were mad that he was powerful. Y'all were mad about Jar Jar Binks, thought he was Caribbean. Y'all hated him. Y'all are some haters. George got tired of y'all dogging on his freaking his movie. He greenlit that Clone Wars. That was a disaster. People don't even know the canon no more. People just buy. George didn't give a freak, bro, at that point. When he greenlit Clone Wars, he was like, yeah, let's do this. Let's fill this in. He was trying to appease some of y'all, bro. Y'all were talking trash about them prequels. He was like, man, let's try to set it up. Yeah, that's fine. Filoni did that. Y'all running with. Man, let me tell you right now. George sold that shit because he didn't want to deal with y'all. And this George is going through it too. He's about to sell his rights to the books or give it off to someone else. That's the likely thing that's going to happen. He's washing his hands of all you fans, bro, including me. And even though I think that you are a fraud, you're a disingenuous liar, your work ethic is trash, because I don't care about none of that shit you said. I don't know that you write none of this. Dying of the Beauty and Light, Sand Kings, Tower of Ashes. Nigga, man, miss me with all that shit. Game of Thrones made you famous. Game of Thrones made you rich. Game of Thrones gave you that black chick with the big BBL that's in your bed tonight. You think she gonna roll over and let you hit that? And if you wasn't George R. R. Martin of Game of Thrones, she don't care about none of that else shit you made, bruh. Don't nobody else do. So why don't you start to do what earn your way back, bro? Sell it. Or release the book. I know you have it. You ain't got the balls to release the book. So I'm telling y'all now, George R. R. Martin, he's going to sell it. And I'll be happy because at least it's something. It's some sort of something to look forward to with some closure at the end of the day. E-Man and Flash, I know you guys are not really Game of Thrones fans. Mm-hmm. But this is very... You making your eyebrow like you are.
Yeah, I am, bro. I was excited to watch
Game of Thrones fan, man. Watch out, man.
Crazy as hell, bro.
Hey, bro, on my level.
But anyway, the North, bro. The North.
Okay,
all day, bro.
So
right.
Whatever that means.
I guess.
So George Martin says all this stuff. He knows. He's very aware. He ain't writing that book. He ain't finishing the book. He ain't gonna release the book. What do you think about this stuff that he said, bro? Flash, what do you think?
Tell you the truth, I think he's like yanking y'all toes, bro.
Trolling?
Yeah, I think he's trolling right now. I think
How so?
Look at him. He's like a troll.
Yeah.
I think.
I never seen it. This is how he takes pictures.
What's up? I really do think he's trolling right now. I don't think he's trolling about his health and about his him hiring somebody to pitch it for him.
Jenny.
He needs help, I'm pretty sure, because Game of Thrones, the books haven't been finished for like 20 years, right? Or some shit like that.
A decade, I would say, yeah. At least. How long?
It's been a long time.
It's been a very long time.
Long time.
Shit, we still on House of Dragon, shit.
And that fool rather write other books than to finish his Game of Thrones.
God damn. 2011 is when the last book came out. It's been 14 years.
He stopped. The money ain't enough. Give me more money.
So, I mean, his best thing to do as of right now is to sell those rights.
Yeah. Let him just give it to somebody else. Mm-hmm. Let them do it.
Let them finish it off.
Mm-hmm.
And you take that money and get that BBL white woman.
Yeah. Get that BBL chick. You already gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? So sell it off and be done with it. All right, for sure.
Be done with it. That's his best thing to do right now.
I think it's whack, though, because kind of like when you're passionate about something, and even though I understand you can lose passion about it, especially dealing with the type of crazy fans and dealing with other people's drama and bullshit and other companies and stuff like that. But when you're passionate, this is like a passion project. This is something that he wanted, something that he loved, something he came up with maybe from his mind, his ideas or whatever he experienced. When you willing to give that up completely, it just feel disingenuous. Like you forget like why you started it, why you wanted to do this. When you are a writer or a book writer or whatever, and you talking about, I don't know if I can do this anymore because of the fans, I think it's kind of whack, because the fans shouldn't stop you from want to do what you want to do. You should stop you from want to do what you want to do. You should continue on because this is your baby. This is your child. You need to finish until you're completely done. You should not have to stop because of stupid, ignorant ass fans. That's the part of the industry. The fans aren't going to be dumb. They're going to be stupid. That's how they are. Paparazzi, all of that shit. You shouldn't just give up on your baby and your passion project. You know what I'm saying? So for him doing that, to me, it's whack.
What's the resolution?
The resolution is keep going on. Continue going on. Making sure that your films is out there because this is your legacy. This is what you have. Giving up on it,
Films.
it's not the way to go, bro.
Make sure his films are out there.
His movie, his show, his books. Make
There
sure
we
his
go.
books.
His
One of those
films.
hits was gonna start.
Hey, Flash hit him with the elbow. His films.
Was it George?
His show. His books. There it is. It's like a comedy. He's telling you. Hey, Flash is telling you. He's helping you. Like we need to start doing a hit in the head. His show. His book. There it is. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes you gotta hit that. Get that shit popping. All right. Well, thanks, E-Man. What?
And you wonder why I be want to fuck you up.
I'm playing, man. I'm recording. Stop, bro.
Why we want to get you,
Watch
bro.
out, man. Leave me alone. What this nigga say? I'm sorry. He said he needs to keep writing, bro. Like, huh? Like, that was that 50 Tyson what? Well, this guy's a hack, bro. Get this fool out of here, bro.